It's a track that requires the full concentration of the drivers with zero margin for error. It tests their skills to the absolute limit, so no wonder it remains a fan favourite. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Sainz, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Albon, Magnussen, Bottas, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Joe, and Logan Sargent. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
With this being a high downforce circuit, we're not going to have quite the same top speed we have at other tracks. The good news is, though, it's going to make our DRS even more effective than normal. So try to make the most of it during the race and quali if you can. Radio check. Okay, so our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap. No rain expected for the time being. Okay, that's not an ideal placement in your grid slot. You're going to need a good launch at the race start. DRS now available. Experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Condition still looking good. Ahead, 6.1 seconds. dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. Approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, this is Mark. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards are going to give you a penalty. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Front wing's damaged. Expects a lot of understeer unless we replace it. This lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed. George is in the pits. He's in the pits now. Go, go, go! Okay, that stop was a slower time than we ideally wanted to see. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position. Return the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period. Behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, you're in the top 10. Now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. Okay, gap ahead, 1.7 seconds. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. touching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Right, a gap to the teammate ahead of us, 3.1 seconds. And gap to the car in front, 2.2 seconds. Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Alright, so we've been looking at the damage and we think we should be okay. so we've been looking at the damage and we think we should be okay to continue. It's going to cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race. Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Caution, caution! Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.3 seconds. Final lap, push, push. Earlier on, but we live, we will learn. On to the next one.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen. The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. And I can't wait to see what's next.